It's another week of tending the Torah garden. The book of Shmos is all about overcoming adversity, and this week's secret is having faith. They tell the joke of the atheist teacher in the old communist Russia who was trying to educate his students that there actually is no God. You see the blackboard, he said? That means it exists. You see this pencil? That means it exists. Can you see God? Of course you can't. So that means he doesn't exist. Everyone was silent, amazed at the teacher's utter brilliance, until little Moishele piped up from the back. You see my chair? That means it exists. You see my sweater? That means it exists. Can you see our teacher's brain? No, you can't. You know what that means, class? It just doesn't exist. This week's Parsha, Parshas Yisro, describes the most monumental moment in Jewish history, the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Many, many wondrous things happened at this occasion. But the Torah makes a point of mentioning the following miracle. V'chol ha'am royim es ha'kolos. The entire nation saw the sounds. This means that things that were usually reserved for the ears were now sensed by the eyes. Now, obviously, God wasn't trying to impress us with cool light and sound effects. Our sages teach us that God just doesn't do miracles for nothing. So what's the point of this phenomenon? What's the point of seeing the sounds? In 1966, the Rebbe delivered a landmark sikha, where he gave a brilliant insight on this entire miracle. The difference between hearing and seeing is that any information that we hear always remains somewhat distant from us, but something that we see becomes embedded in our entire psyche. Imagine going back in time to the 1800s and trying to explain to someone how a plane can fly from LA to New York in just under 5 hours. Even if you manage to clarify all the elements of physics and aerodynamics, the listener will still feel like something is missing. Flying is just not in his reality. But take a child outside today and just show her a flying jet. Nothing more needs to be said. She'll see it and it becomes part of her. When Hashem gave us the Torah, He was really asking us to do something completely revolutionary, to bring His holy presence into a very mundane and material world. The problem is that for us, spiritual reality is what we only hear about, while physicality is what we see. Godliness seems far, and pizza shops seem that much closer. And that's why Hashem let us see the sounds. For a brief moment, before we began our cosmic journey, we saw reality for what it truly is. All the godly stuff that we thought was far away suddenly became as real as watching a plane fly. This moment would become the power that would carry us through every single challenge in our history. Because faith is not an abstract belief. Faith is a strong conviction that comes from seeing the truth. And once you see the truth, my friends, you can't unsee it. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom u'Mevorach.